This is such a great segue because, like, the control thing and how can we get control, I think the coronavirus is a huge thing.
Well, yeah.
You know what I just found out today after watching that Rogan podcast? They were talking about, like, the JFK shit and how the files were supposed to be released, but they still haven't released them. And then he's like, Rogan brings up, and what about the corona files? They're not releasing those for 75 years now.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
Are you
like,
serious?
why? Yeah, I didn't even know that. How crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Why?
It's crazy. That
Like, why?
It's crazy that anyone who suggested any, like, speculation of how the origin of this virus was started was banned off social media platforms. Like, why were they blocking that? Why can't we have any discourse?
And you know what else is really, we'll get back to that, but you know what else is really crazy with it too is now, like, Red Cross and these blood banks are asking people if you've gotten a coronavirus shot, if you've gotten the vaccine. Because if you answer yes, they give you a call to make sure if you're a eligible candidate. But if you say no, you could get your blood drawn and donate your blood right away.
And this is probably where...
That's crazy, though. Like, why are people not asking questions about that now? Like, okay, I got the vaccine, but now I can't, my blood's no good now? Like, why is my blood no good?
I mean, let's think about the things that we're getting put in our food. Like, let's think about, like, what the FDA is doing. Like, what are they approving? It's like, maybe this is like the niche that, like, people here in the States see that what Putin's doing, and they're like, okay, this is a different direction than what we're trying to do. And that's why I think you're starting to see some pro-Putin supporters here. In a way, right? Because they don't do any, like, they don't put any of the stuff in the food. Like, they're non-GMO.
Well, that's how all of Europe is.
But especially Russia. Like,
Yeah,
I think
but
Russia they were ahead of the
huge.
ball on all of that.
Yeah, but Europe's huge on all that.
But, like, again, they're like Russia's like this outskirt European country, but they're not in the club. And so, it's just this one guy. It's just this one guy, Putin.
Well, Russia gets a ton of their like grain, which grain is like the most genetically modified. Grain and corn are like the most genetically modified two things in the world, like wheat and all that. And Russia gets a huge amount of their, or at least used to, from Ukraine. Like, Ukraine was one of the biggest grain manufacturers or growers in the world, especially for that part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be another thing. Like, it's also, people say, like, China's going into Ukraine because they're huge in uranium and stuff like that. But I wanted to get back to the COVID thing real quick. The blood thing about your blood not being good.
Yeah.
Then I saw this other thing where it's a embalmer, like a guy who works on dead bodies after, like, right after they die, and does, like, autopsies and stuff. He's, since 2021, he has never seen these things before. And now I wish I saw the video. I might still have it. I'll show you after. It's a video of him pulling out this huge white blood clot, like this long. And it's just huge, just white. It looks like just like almost like a huge thick worm that he's pulling out of these people's veins. And he's like, since before 2021, I've never seen this before. And now I'm seeing these all the time.
What is it?
It's just a huge blood clot that he's never seen before.
Okay, so what did he have, like, any reason as
He's
to, like,
basically pointing it like, I've never seen this before the COVID vaccine came out.
Yeah, like something's getting put in your body.
Yeah, like something that your body can't. It's basically coagulate. I don't know how blood clots in your veins form, but it's crazy, like, what they look like. They look like they're, like, this thick, and, like, imagine, like, 6 inches of this is just a white piece of material just in your vein, blocking your vein.
Yeah, I think it definitely goes back to, like, the freedom over, or security over freedom outlook of, like, the world. It's like, you want someone else telling you what's good for you instead of you doing your own research or, like, trying to figure it out, and, like, you be autonomous to your own life.
Have you read the real Anthony Fauci book?
No, by what?
I'm going to order it.
RFK?
Yeah, I'm going to order it for us to read.
Dude.
I'm going to read it and I'll give it to you after.
Yeah.
I'm going to order it because I want to read it, because when I was watching Rogan, he was saying, because he was like, I used to think RFK was a kook too.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my really smart friends, PhD, calls me and tells me, I don't care what you say, you have to read this book. You have to. So he's like, I read it. I read the first, like, 2 pages, and I called him. I go, is this shit real? Like, is this actually real? And he's like, dude, just keep reading.
So we know he has no chance of winning. Because,
RFK.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude, you know, he doesn't even have, he's the only presidential candidate who doesn't have has never had Secret Service protection. That's crazy.
That is insane.
They're gonna off him just like all the other ones.
Just
All
another,
the other
another
Kennedys.
Kennedy. Jesus.
Well, so the real Anthony Fauci book, he calls his buddy up, says that like he can't believe it's real, but then it's like it's obviously real because he hasn't been sued yet.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't been, it's there's nothing to debate then, because if it was all defamation,
He's wrong.
yeah, if it was all defamation, they just sue him. They're just hoping like they could sweep it under the rug and nobody will buy the book.
Dude, it's okay. So it's like there's that going on in the West, and I mean, it sounds like to the looks of it, like we're going to Ukraine. Why are we going to Ukraine? We've been pushing Putin's hand all this time. It's like, are we the bad guys?
No, dude, we're going. Wait, hold on. We're going.
Are we the bad guys?
We're going in a wrong direction, real quick, dude. I think the Yuri Bezmenov shit's crazy now. Like when he's saying all this in the 80s and how it's all, and now it's all coming to fruition.
Like communism infiltrated here.
That's, dude, like Russia might be having a huge role in all of this. A way bigger role than we're even giving him credit for.
So what, we're going to say Putin has all the tentacles and he's involved
I don't know.
in
I'm not
everything?
just saying that. I'm not saying that, but I think might have a way bigger influence over China than we think. But also then it's hard to say because it's a lot of the information points to America having had their hands in the coronavirus too. So it's really hard to say. That's why I think it's really weird that they're not releasing the files for 75 years.
That's
until
really weird.
People don't even remember what this was. Like if that's generation.
Yeah, I mean, and then by then, what else
We're
are they?
dead in 75 years.
What else are they going to place in? What else are they going to put into law
basically
in 75 years?
everybody who saw the COVID virus is going to be dead in 75 years.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous.
And it's going to be a completely different world than what the one we're living in right now. Like
Gosh, dude, that makes me want to get into this other, like I forget their names. I gotta remember all these stuff.
But I don't think I don't think he's involved in this game. Like I think that they're trying to get rid of him. Like he's like one of those guys that are like still there or still around.
I think it's
like,
all
I
this
think he's
happened,
outside the club.
That could be true.
And I think also China in a way too.
But all this started happening, like the Yuri Bezmenov speech that he gave.
It was in the 80s.
This is way before Putin's time. Putin basically could have inherited these plans that are already in place.
It's like, yeah, why end the Soviet Union? Why destabilize? Why tear down the Berlin Wall? Is it all just kind of like this?
Well, the Berlin Wall tearing that down.
I know, but that's a political
Germany.
That's a political move. Yeah, West and East Germany, but it's like that was a like a kind of destabilization of like their power in that region in Germany. Like it's a big deal. Like, and what that happened in 87 and the Soviet Union collapsed in 91, so that was 4 years later. Like it was a build up to that. Like what? So what is that? Like, do you just like if you think that's actually the case, where they, and this is like major conspiracy rabbit hole here, are they actually like involved in every matter now? Like they're the ones controlling everything?
It's hard to believe that.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, that they have more pull than America does.
Yeah.
But